Open any Indian used market, you'll find an old iPhone priced at $39,999. Visible scratches, no warranty, battery life questionable. And the first thought that comes to your mind is, why isn't this half the price? Because that's how depreciation is supposed to work, right? But in India that logic completely collapses. Used electronics in India aren't cheap. Sometimes they're barely even cheaper at all. And it's not because of inflation or sellers being greedy. It's a system where each layer is aligned against you getting a fair deal. And the most frustrating thing is, by the end of this video, that $39,999 listing is going to make complete sense. The first thought that comes to your mind is, the used market in India is broken. Unrealistically high prices, low ballers everywhere, people trying to scam you in the name of the army. But it's not. It's working exactly as it's supposed to, just not in your favor. The basic concept of depreciation is simple. Used equals cheap, but in India that concept breaks. Here, used does not mean cheap, and it's because the Indian used market isn't driven by logic. It's driven by incentives. Incentives at each layer that don't work if the prices are lower. So the real question isn't why is this so expensive? It's who actually benefits from keeping it expensive. If you ever tried to sell anything on the Indian used market, you most likely have set the asking price intentionally high, a price you yourself don't expect to get. Why is that? It's not you being greedy, and that is the case with most sellers. A seller isn't thinking in market terms, he's thinking in memory. Buying new things in India is expensive. GST, high import duties, currency differences, distribution margins. A phone that costs $700 in the US would go for more than 80,000 rupees in India. So when someone buys it, they immediately get the sense of overpaying, and it sticks. And it reflects when they try to sell it back. Even if the phone is 3 years old, the battery has degraded and newer models exist. The thoughts in their heads isn't what is this worth now. They're thinking, I paid too much for this and I can't take a big loss again. That emotional resistance to depreciation is real. We hold on to the original price even when we try to sell it. Now add Indian negotiation culture into it. Us Indians love negotiating.
Yes, sir, I'm telling you, sir, final price, best price, take it and go. Take it and go. Take it and go.
Even if we are able to reduce 100 rupees, that feels way greater an achievement than getting a good deal. So buyers don't start at market value, they start way below that. And sellers inflate prices in advance to protect themselves from low ballers. Because of this, price discovery doesn't start at the middle, they start at extremes, and most often they collapse before reaching an agreement. So now we have sellers protecting perceived value, buyers hunting for the cheapest deal. And the underlying reason behind this is the next layer, trust. Let's zoom out a bit. This isn't psychology, it's a structure. And the biggest invisible cost in this market, trust. Nobody trusts anybody. The buyer doubts the integrity of the item. The seller thinks this guy could scam me. Both sides act defensively. And in the absence of trust, friction rises. Aggressive negotiations, increased hesitations, and more failed deals. But here's the part where it gets more frustrating. India actually had a solid platform for this. eBay India.
Get deals on eBay.in that you won't find anywhere else. With the eBay guarantee, eBay.in. Want it? Get it.
Back when eBay India existed, we had nationwide selling, payment mediation, dispute resolution, and a repeated system. People could sell across the country, be assured that they would get paid, and if something went wrong, the platform intervened and resolved the issue. So trust wasn't optional, it was built into the system. But in 2018, eBay India got acquired by Flipkart and then shut down. They cited the reason that they would replace eBay India with a new platform for used goods. Too Good was launched as a replacement for eBay India, but was just a platform selling refurbished stuff. The customer-to-customer selling option was gone, which made eBay India popular. Too Good was later absorbed into Flipkart. What now remains are platforms like OLX and Quicker. They act like mere digital notice boards, connecting buyers and sellers, and that's it. No payment mediation, no dispute resolution, evolution, no trust. You're on your own. That's not an evolution, that's a structural downgrade. The result, a huge trust gap. And in the low trust environment, trust costs money and we pay for it. The trust gap in the used market created a huge opportunity to monetize it. And platforms like Cashify did exactly that. They stepped in and said, we'll handle the risk. On the surface, it looks like a solution, but it's not. It's a business model. And here's how it actually works. You decide to sell a phone, to log into one of these platforms. You see a high estimate, it feels fair, but then the inspection happens. Small scratches, minor issues, your phone is put under the microscope. They find scratches that you yourself have never seen before, and the result is that the original estimated price of your phone is now a distant memory. This happens all the time. People who work for these platforms themselves admit that they are pressured to reduce the value as much as possible. To the sellers, this feels like bait. To the platforms, it's margin protection. On the flip side, if you try to buy from them, the prices feel high, and that's because you're not just paying for the product, you're also paying for warranty, logistics, returns, risk coverage, and platform margin. These platforms buy low, standardize, and then sell high. And the trust gap in the market, that is their business model. They didn't fix it. They built a toll booth around it and charged anyone who passes through. Because of this, the sellers get underpaid, the buyers get overcharged, the platforms grow anyway. But this still isn't the full picture, because before any of this even happens, the prices are already set somewhere else. There are entire markets built on used electronics, Nehru Place or Lamington Road to name a few. These markets act as liquidation channels that get rid of old stocks. If something isn't selling, they end up here. They also act as price discovery engines. This is where people figure out what something is actually worth. If a phone is listed online for 40,000 rupees but it's actually 30,000 here, then that price becomes the actual price in people's minds. Think of it like a backend to the whole system. Even if you never go there, they still influence what your phone is worth. Before you open OLX, before you see the listing, before you start negotiating, the prices are already set by a market that you may not even know existed. Now stack everything: the emotional pricing of the seller, the trust gap in the market, the platforms that monetize it, and the backend that influences everything. Each layer extracts something and it compounds. Everyone is behaving rationally. The seller isn't greedy, they're protecting what they think their device is worth. The buyer isn't stupid, they're trying to get the best deal possible. The platforms aren't illegal, they're just charging you to solve a problem that they benefit from existing. And the offline market operates with information that you don't have. No one is actually breaking any rules. They don't need to. The system itself is the problem. Aspiration keeps demand high, emotions keep prices up, negotiations distort actual worth, trust deficit increase friction. Platforms charge a premium for safety, and the offline market controls information. And this isn't going to change anytime soon. At least not until people accept depreciation emotionally and trust infrastructure improves. And none of this is happening anytime soon, because people who could fix this benefit from keeping the system exactly how it is. So that 39,999 listing you saw is going to be there next month. The next time you're about to close OLX in frustration, just remember, you're not bad at negotiating. You're just playing a game where the rules are against you before you even started. If this video articulated the frustration you had with our used market correctly, then hit the like button. Subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one.